Lena here from Girl Teach Me, and today I want to talk about how to help keep your baby happy. I know that if you're a new mama, this can be super stressful. You don't know why your baby's crying. So my goal is at the end of this video that you should be able to troubleshoot why your baby might be crying, have some new tools in your mama tool belt, and also just to have a general understanding of what your baby's really needing the first 12 weeks after he or she is born. I got a lot of these strategies from the book Happiest Baby on the Block by Harvey Karp. I don't love everything in that book, but what I am sharing is what I have done for the last 7 years. So I have 4 kids at this point. I have a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 6-month-old at the time of this video. And I've used these strategies on every one of my babies. And over time, I have just come to find that one, they work. And then I've also come to find some little intricacies of how to make those strategies work even better. And I want to share all of that with you in this video. So I hope you'll watch it till the end. So thanks for checking out this video. Here at Girl Teach Me, I am making videos on new motherhood, how to make real food, and how to create a peaceful home for the people that you love. If you haven't already, I hope you'll hit subscribe. So one thing Harvey Karp talks about in the Happiest Baby on the Block is the fact that there's a 4th trimester. So he goes on to say some kind of interesting, weird things about that. But what I will say is that I kind of agree with the fact that the first 12 weeks after the baby is born, they are really having a tough time adjusting out of the womb. Baby is used to hearing your heartbeat, hearing you breathe, feeling you rock them all day long as the baby just sways in the womb. The baby is used to all of that. And so it can be a really big shock to, 1, be in silence, 2, be alone in just a stationary crib. All of that can just be really unsettling for baby. And so I want to share 5 strategies that I really think will help give the baby the calming reflex. So before you do these 5 strategies, first, check these things off the list. 1, is baby hungry? 2, does baby need a diaper change? 3, is baby hot or cold? Or maybe does baby have a little bit of gas and just needs to be burped? If you've checked all of those boxes, these strategies are really going to help induce the calming reflex. So in these videos, you will see my friend's baby. She has loaned me her sweet little girl to show you guys some of these techniques. My 6-month-old is just a little bit too big to show you really how to do these 5 S's. And so thank you so much for loaning me your sweet girl. The first strategy is swaddling. So baby is used to being tightly tucked away in your womb, and it's a really tight environment. And so when baby can come out and throw their hands up, it can be really unsettling. And if you've ever seen a baby go like this and their hands kind of go up and down, it kind of gives the impression that the baby feels like they're falling, and it's really unsettling for baby. So one thing you can do is try to swaddle the baby. Usually they grow out of this, especially 12 weeks in, but those first couple of weeks, swaddling can really be comforting to baby. You can use a basic receiving blanket to swaddle, but the swaddle that I ended up loving after I used a bunch of different ones for all of my kids was the Ollie swaddle. It's really, really simple to use and is basically just Velcro. I also liked that I could get to their feet when I forgot about the owlet that needed to be strapped to their foot. So the Ollie was my absolute favorite. But it doesn't matter. Whatever swaddle you can get your hands on, just tucking the baby's hands by their side can be really comforting. The second strategy is side laying. So what this looked like most of the time for me was when I would put them in the DockATot, I would just ever so slightly tilt them. But also, if you're just laying them on your lap, just jostling them ever so slightly. And you want to get their head just moving just so slightly to the side. It really calmed baby down. So one thing we would usually do is tucking baby's arms by their side, just holding their arms down, side laying them on my lap, and just jostling them ever so slightly, even just with my knees going back and forth. The third S is shushing. So when baby is in the womb, they hear your heart beating, they hear you breathing, and it's as loud as a vacuum. And so you really have to shush loud. And also, some babies are born with fluid in their ears that dries up over time, but that can make it even harder for them to hear. And so really shushing in their ears. Sometimes my husband, while he was holding their hands and side laying them and jostling them ever so slightly, he was shushing really loud in the baby's ear. Another thing that's really helpful is getting some white noise and just really cranking it up. I know you can be scared you're hurting baby's ears, but I promise you louder is better because that's what it was like in the womb. You can also get little portable white noise machines to put inside of their car seat, which can be really handy when you're trying to get from point A to point B without listening to those poor pitiful cries, or just to get you to that next rest stop so you can feed. A sound machine is so handy. Another trick for that is just turning it to a dead radio station, and that staticky noise, turning that up really loud. That always helped calm down baby too, but really, really loud shushing. The fourth S is swinging. So I just love a baby swing. It has been such a game changer for all 4 of my kids. And honestly, I've never really bought one. I've borrowed almost every one that I've had, and for the last baby, I was given one. So here's something to think about before you go out and buy a really expensive swing, is that usually a baby only uses a swing for the first 6 months. After that, they're kind of over it. I know my baby right now, when I put her in the swing, she's 6 months, she just wants to sit up. She's over the swing. So usually a mama doesn't want to store it, but necessarily doesn't want to give it away. So something to think about is if you have a friend that just had a baby, consider asking if you can just borrow the swing. Another thing to think about is just to buy it used, because it's only used for a couple of months. They're usually in pretty good condition, so you don't necessarily have to spend $300 or $150 on a swing. But I definitely recommend getting one. It's going to give you a mama break, and they honestly are so comforted by it. You have to think about it. When the baby was in your womb, you were walking around and just swaying them all day long, and that was so comforting to them. When you lay down at night in your bed, what did baby do? They just came to life. They were just running around in your womb, and they woke up because they had been swung to sleep all day long as you walked around. So that's still comforting to baby, even outside of the womb. Another thing for this S is baby wearing. I know baby wearing can be a little uncomfortable on your shoulders and your back if you're not used to it. If your back and shoulders is something that bothers you, consider getting an ergonomically friendly baby wearing sling. So the one that I really like is called the Ergo. Now the prettier ones like the Moby and the Solly and the Boba, those are great options too, especially when you have a little one. But just in general, wearing baby close to your chest is going to be so good for bonding, so good just for you keeping baby close while you get a load of laundry or some dishes done, or even tend to other kids. I just love baby wearing. It has just been a game changer for just when I just want to sit and be with my baby, but I do have so much to do. So that is something that's really comforting to baby as well. They'll usually fight you a little bit and cry a little bit as you put them in, but just stick with it. In a couple minutes and they'll really just settle in and be really comforted by you wearing them on your chest. The fifth S is sucking, and this is going to be so key for baby because they are actually going to release in their body a calming hormone when they suck. But something to think about, and this is what I was told with my first, and it might be slightly controversial, is maybe consider delaying a pacifier for the first 2 to 3 weeks to let your milk come in and to avoid nipple confusion to the baby. So I say that, but none of my babies have used a passy. So just a disclaimer, I haven't used a passy. But I really think if you can just be giving the baby the breast as often as you can those first couple of weeks, it's really going to drive your milk supply up and it's going to calm baby. And then after a couple of weeks, if you want to get on a schedule, you have not ruined baby, I promise you. But it has been calming to baby and it's helped your milk supply. So maybe just delay on the passy for a little while and just to let those things regulate. If your baby's upset and you don't think they're hungry, still consider just giving them the breast because it's going to be really, really calming for them and it's going to just uptick your milk supply. And so it's kind of a win-win. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you will check out some more videos that I have. I have one on my birth story with my 4th baby, as well as my top 5 baby items that I would definitely have on my baby registry. I hope you'll check out those 2 videos.